Hello, my name is Ivan Pozo-Illas, otherwise known as Atrayo. I'm an angelic oracle imagineer. Basically, I've been practicing for 22 years' time clairvoyant automatic writing, which is sort of like getting myself, my ego, my personality out of the way, and through inspiration, sort of like taking dictation from an angel. They're often nameless. And it's not just one angel. I probably have had dozens of them over the years. And they're teaching anyone that's willing to listen on a universal, inclusive, not just pigeonholed to Christianity, any religion, any spiritual tradition, spiritual wisdom. And I've written to date, taking my longhand and my shorthand series together into one, over 3,000 statements. And the statement is either anywhere from 2 to over 6 paragraphs at times. This is part 2 of a vlog entry of my Jewels of Truth statements and favorite quotes of the month from my entry on my blog site, Atrayo's Oracle, from October the 18th, a Wednesday. Yes, it's a little bit behind, but since I'm a caregiver to my mother, this always gets put on the back burner, although this is what I love doing, and I do it without cost. And today's, in part 1, I channeled the angel or the baby god or the minor god Morpheus. I was experimenting, and I got him, and then I got the lesser god of Apollo, otherwise known as Helios in Greek mythology, and he did a statement on music. So those would be posted here on YouTube or on my blog site or other sites that I have, like Tumblr. And today's topic would be the third statement, which is on good, neutrality, and evil. And like most times, the angels don't give their names. They have no egos. They have personality, but they're not stuck on names. So this statement, number 2553, will be 5 paragraphs long. And after I read it, I'll also do the favorite quotes of the month, which are usually one-liners from other authors across time. And so I'll just jump right in. And this is, again, the topic of a good, neutrality, and evil from an inclusive perspective. To waver in faith is to forget one's birthright with God the Most High. Each of us is alive spiritually in a mutual health known as God itself. All is reconciled here beyond all differences of a duality of whatever sort. There is only God, and even our spirit personalities are subsumed into this immense totality of the Creator. We are awakened to everything and everyone simultaneously, for we piggyback onto the metaphysical infrastructure that is Goddess. And when I say Goddess, I mean the feminine aspect of God. We eavesdrop and we influence directly by indirect subtle clues, hoping for the holiest best each time. A win for us is when mortal kind abides with the will of God on purpose. As you shine lovingly and spiritually, we shine ever more brilliantly with gladness. And for God, He does shine ever more as our meta surrogate to all of creation as itself. To humanity there is good, neutrality, and evil, and sometimes, although sometimes not even neutrality is ever counted, making a binary selection the truism instead. In the afterlife, this is all backward and crude nonsense. Yes, there are lesser spirit realms as metaphysical realities as there are middle and highest ones. However, all have equal footing as a sway, for they are all the personification and embodiment of God, metaphysically speaking, in greatest essence. A pure, ethereal, planar reality do the heavens, limbos, and hells encompass in an infinite and eternal circular fashion constantly. All good, neutrality, and evil are but ideological flavors of the Creator, each for its own raison d'etre, to be alive and dead simultaneously. By means of the vehicle of enlightenment, singularly, these three ideological stances of good, neutrality, and evil are harmonically reconciled forever in God alone. They are no longer an impediment to any soul in the afterlife. They are, however, discharged as to roles of differing lifestyles in spirit for ghosts to explore the infinite totality of Goddess. There is no warfare in the afterlife between good and evil. That is a human fallacy, a primitive barbarism as an untruth best left to the idle foolishness of an evolving species, a vestige like a discarded tale for a Homo sapien creature as a path of spiritual awakening. Humanity lives by fallacy and truth, with most untruths assumed to be until otherwise disproven by enlightened wisdom shining brightest upon them. Here we stand at the threshold of the great I Am, calling upon all to awaken to the wonder of their holiest splendor in our divinity in truth, to shed the youth of mortality and become the angels of a truthful paradise once more. Amen. And there I sign it with my name, Ivan Pozo-Illas. And the Pozo-Illas is like a compound surname, so like you get that in a lot of European. And mine is more Spanish in nature. And my nickname or handle of Atrayo that I've been using since 1999 online, mostly as a gamer, PC gamer, but I adopted it from the, if it sounds familiar, from the movie The Never-Ending Story, but it's also a novel by a German author named Michael Enz. I haven't read the novels. I've only seen the movies, and only the first movie is any good. And the way I spell it is different from the movies. But I know there's a punk band in Scandinavia, and another band in the States also named Atrayo with the same spelling, and I didn't even know they existed, so I've only heard about it in years past. Okay, so that's a backstory on how I got my handle, or I gave it to myself. Let's see, I've got 5 Jewels of Truth, 5 favorite quotes of the month. And these are short ones from other authors that I may screw up their surname, so you're forewarned. I rise to taste the dawn, and I find that love alone will shine today. Ken Wilber. And like I've said in other vlog entries, some of these quotes of other authors reflects on the statements that I've done above, like this one by Ken Wilber about shining today, that love alone will shine today. And you see in this statement I just read about how the angel talks about shining brightest when we're in alignment with our highest good. So it's sort of like, and these come randomly to me. I write them down between posts, and when I put them up, I say, ah. So I don't do that like with advanced strategy or anything. It just happens. The next one is from the Buddha. The whole of the holy life is good friends. The next one. We are not permitted to choose the frame of our destiny, but what we put into it is ours. And this one's a Scandinavian name. I'm going to screw it up a little bit. Dag Hammarskjöld. The next one is what brings fulfillment is gratefulness, the simple response of our heart to this life in all its fullness, by Brother David Steinrast, and he's a monk that basically focuses on gratefulness and the spiritual philosophy he's been teaching for a long time. So kudos to his soul. And the last one right here, the 5th one, we don't have to wait for some grand utopian future. The future is an infinite succession of presents. And to live now as we think human beings should live in defiance of all that is bad around us is itself a marvelous victory, by Howard Zinn. So basically this would be the end of part 2 from my Jewels of Truth and Favorite Quotes of the Month for October the 18th, Wednesday. I'll put the link to it in the YouTube text section so you could read along and you see what I wrote in what I read in part 1. Please like the video, and I thank you for watching. And I have over 60 videos on this YouTube channel, so enjoy some of them. And I also have a Pinterest folder with over 170, maybe more, memes of channeled angelic wisdom, all for free. It's a Jewels of Truth folder, and there's some really beautiful quotations in there that I've channeled. So take a look at those. I hope you enjoy those as well, and I'll put the link to that. Again, thank you for watching, and this will go up maybe a few days, this entry after the part 1. So bye now.